Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. In this episode, we're going to talk about some serious drama that's coming up on the Flightsim.to side of the fence. This could very well be the end of Flightsim.to as we know it if any of this information holds weight. Stick around to find out why. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkill's tutorial guides or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides as well as any future guides that come along down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below, and thank you to all of my current subscribers. Don't forget to take a look at Flightsim Expo 2023. It's going to be in Houston, Texas, guys, in June. Overkill Simulations is absolutely going to be there, as well as a bunch of other very awesome content creators, developers, showcasers. There's going to be seminars, all kinds of cool stuff. Flightsim Expo was actually the first time that I tried my rudder, my TPR rudder pedals, got to test them out. You get to see all the latest hardware and all kinds of new stuff, guys. So make sure that if you guys are able to, that you join up and get your spot secured for Flightsim Expo 2023. It is going to be hosted at a beautiful air museum in Houston, Texas. So you get that double whammy of being able to walk around, see all the gorgeous aircraft, as well as all the cool stuff that Flightsim Expo has to offer. I hope to see every one of you guys there. I will be dressed in full Overkill Simulation swag, so make sure you guys take a look out for that. I should be very easy to spot. Okay, guys, so admittedly there might have been a little bit of clickbait on this one, but bear with me. The reason why I did that is because there's some very serious drama stirring up about Flightsim.to that could actually, if it gets out of hand, it could be the end. It could be the end of it as we know it if things progress to the direction that it looks like it's heading. So what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about an article that I read on FS Elite here, and we're going to talk about first what the issues are, what the evidence shows to support said issues, and then what my thoughts are on where this could actually end up going. So first off, the biggest issue is that developers are starting to be concerned about some of the terms of service agreements that are listed on Flightsim.to's website as a submitter. So as a developer, you have to agree to their terms of service. A couple of points of that terms of service that developers are claiming is that there is some literature there that basically states that if you upload any mods, tools, add-ons, you know, guys know all the great things that I'm always showcasing here on the channel. If you upload something to their website, the developers are concerned that some of the literature in the terms of service state that Flightsim.to takes then ownership of that upload. Meaning that for those of you who may be a little gray on that, it means exactly what it sounds like. Meaning at that point, once you submit a mod to them, they own it. That's what the developer's concern is. Another concern of the developers is the idea of a premium service, meaning that developers will then start having to pay to submit add-ons or even end users. Now it's a little unclear on who it's saying is going to be paying for that particular service, whether it's us, the end users, having to pay for a subscription or some sort of purchase base for each individual mod. Or if it's the developers who have to pay to submit it. Like I said, it's a little hazy on what the concern of the paywall is. One of the other major concerns that the developers are starting to report is the inability to delete a mod or a submission, I should say. Let's call it submission. A developer is unable to delete a submission at will. They actually have to file a claim of sorts to Flightsim.to, and that deletion request is reviewed manually and then either approved or denied. Now we're going to talk about all these points here from a Flightsim.to's perspective next. One of the things that I particularly enjoy about FS Elite is they do a very good job about remaining unbiased. Okay, so here's my thing. What FS Elite is reporting is that in their reading of the terms of service is that they cannot corroborate any of the information that developers are claiming, meaning that they can't find any literature that states that the ownership belongs to Flightsim.to once a submission is completed. They cannot state or find anything that is stating necessarily that a paywall will be enforced. Okay, and that's the biggest thing that we want to focus on here is the word enforced. Okay, we all know that Flightsim.to absolutely submits payware. There's a couple that I've purchased from them. I know Got Friends submits their aircraft. There's the Furgo FMS for the Boeing aircraft. So just to name a few, the glider again from Got Friends I know is on there, and a few others. But there is enough concern where some major developers of some pretty large projects have pulled away from Flightsim.to, and not only pulled away, but are calling for a boycott. And this is where things start to get a little bit scary, for me at least, because of everything Flightsim.to has represented since its inception into the Microsoft Flight Simulator community. When you start calling for a boycott, that means that there's enough concern from multiple developers that are saying, look, guys, like this is getting really out of hand. Something is happening that either we are unaware of or is being severely misconstrued. Now, this all gets a little concerning to me at this point because of the developers that are pulling. You have the developer of the global AI ship traffic. We love VFR. That's been another one that's been around for a very long time. They have indicated that should the terms of service not be changed, that they are going to be leaving and leaving permanently. So even in the article here, FS Elite goes on to say that they're not sure what part of the terms of service would need to be changed in order to alleviate the concern that seems to be generated from this particular terms of service sections. Where I'm concerned, okay, and the reason why I wanted to make this video is to make sure that we all have all the information level. It seems like there isn't any hard line statements that truly draw out the developer's concerns, which makes me think that maybe there's a gray area in place here from a developer's perspective. I want to make it very clear that in no way, shape, or form am I saying the developers are lying. I am not saying they are wrong. I have no idea because I don't have that information. I am speaking to this as a concerned simmer here, especially since, like I said, Flightsim.to is a big part of my channel. If there's validity to their concerns, that's awful. Okay, that's where this becomes a problem, and we start losing that free market design that Flightsim.to was bringing. We have, on multiple occasions, whether it be discussing on live chats, down in the chats on the videos, or even just in passing, talked about how the freeware developers really make the market great. They really add so much to the sim without having to break your bank to do it. I mean, think about if everything that you guys download from a Flightsim.to like website, whether it be for X-Plane 11 or 12 or DCS World or in our case, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Think of all the add-ons that you have and ask yourself how many of them are payware and how many of them are freeware and which ones you find yourself actually using and enjoying more. And so if a paywall was to be risen over all the freeware products that we're used to grabbing, that is going to make flight simulation a far more expensive hobby than it already is. And it's going to take away a lot of the passion that developers have who aren't in it to make money. I have stated on more than one occasion that the freeware developers tend to do a lot better than some of the payware developers. Not all, but definitely some. And I think it's because the passion is different and the drive is different. The drive isn't for financial gain. They're not trying to rush something out. They're just trying to do something cool and fun for the community. Not to shoot down any payware developers, guys. Not at all. You guys all know that I've showed off plenty of payware products. There are plenty of payware developers that are absolutely amazing, so don't take that the wrong way. I'm just simply saying that when you have that passion and then that willingness to develop that for free, it's another piece to the community that can really be impacted here should there be validity to this. The one thing I will absolutely agree with, that Flightsim.to claims that they have never rejected a request for deletion of a modification or a submission. There are developers that have stated otherwise, but at the moment of the time of this article, it doesn't sound like any of the developers were able to be reached for commentary. Now, here's my concern about that. This is where I get worried about the gray areas being in existence behind the scenes that maybe we're not aware of. If it is true that you have to submit a request in order to remove a submission that you made to what is supposed to be a freeware launch site. Okay. Then if it's freeware and you have no intention of taking royalties of anything that's submitted to you, why do I have to ask permission to delete it? That is a point of concern. I will absolutely agree that one line of everything that I've read does raise a red flag. If there's no intent to take control over something that I am giving you to submit on your website, if there is no intent to say, no, we're going to charge for this service later on, if there is no intent to say, nope, you gave it to me, it's mine now, I can do with it as I please, why is there a process to delete? Why can't I just go in and remove it like many other sites? That part does raise an alarm. Now, again, I have no information as to why this may be done. There may be absolutely valid reasons for this. There may be a legitimate reason for this. It may be to control content and understand who's constantly adding and removing storage. I don't know. This is pure speculation, me trying to think outside the box. Because for me, from my standpoint, if I were a developer, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why? I don't have to, get your approval to submit it, it sounds like. Why do I have to request permission to remove it if it's mine? Maybe I decide that it's not a good product. Maybe I find a critical bug. What if it's something urgent, or you find an exploit that exists in your add-on that could actually put other users in their systems in danger? I should be able to remove that stuff instantly. So that brings a red flag. But that's the only piece that we can find while reading through these articles that seems to state that there is an issue here. But developers seem to be very, very upset with the condition of Flightsim.to's terms of service, as well as their new creator program and the premium program. There seems to be a lot of fires starting to burn over this. I just wanted to sort of clear the air, get something out to you guys that sort of breaks down what is known at this time. And according to, again, the article here on FS Elite, they have done their digging into the terms of service, and they can find no hard lines that basically state royalties will be taken, and they can't find anything that says, whom or under what conditions a paywall may exist. I really hope, excuse me, didn't mean to bump the mic, hope you guys didn't hear that. I really hope this is all just smoke and fire that can be easily put out, and maybe something rewritten, and the developers can be put at ease, because what I'm scared of is the fear itself from a developer standpoint. And I'm not a developer. I'm just saying I'm worried about developers going, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. This is starting to get weird, and pulling out of just sheerly not wanting to deal with the drama, right? Even if there is nothing to be necessarily concerned about, because if we start losing developers, I mean, you guys know how much it's going to impact the sim. That just sucks. And that breaks my heart. My concern, if this is true, is that you have this great platform like Flightsim.to who will essentially be looking for ways to get more money. And if it's true, I want to emphasize if it is true. I'm hoping that it's not. I'm hoping that something was misread or misinterpreted, and that Flightsim.to and their management team are able to clear the air, right? I really, really hope that there isn't any validity to this, because that will, I'm going to say it, that'll suck. That'll absolutely suck. Anyways, I just wanted to share you guys with what was known, what's going on, what the concerns are with Flightsim.to. It sounds like from an end user standpoint, you and I who go to the site and download, nothing's changed at the moment. But just wanted you guys to be aware of that, because this kind of sucks. Make sure that we do what we can to support the developers and keep freeware free, because that will be absolutely awful if they destroy that. I hope they don't take that away. As always, guys, leave your comments and your thoughts down below. I would love to have a discussion with you guys about this one and see what you guys' take is on this. Maybe if you're a developer and have some further information, please shed it down below. I think the more information that we get out in the public right now about this is going to be very critical, and the faster that we move to resolve any potential issues that truly may exist, the better the community is going to be. I mean, this, again, flight sim is already expensive. It truly is an expensive hobby. So I'm really hoping this isn't a way to make it even worse. As always, guys, stay safe and healthy, and I will see you in the next one.